Hi folks, we are back. This is episode 2 and we're on round 2 of my multiplayer game of Shadow Empire. We're playing the Ring of Rust, and let's have a look at what happened in the history. There won't be anything, pretty much. There was a force that just moved up here. Now these turn out to be farmers, I believe. We've got the Weimar Hansa, and they're a bunch of farmers, led by Heinrich Neumann. And yeah, we'll come across the decision with those guys shortly. Let's have a look at the vidcom. As always, we get the militia forces hold a parade to show their strength and loyalty. We're entering a time of relative calm. We found 60 metals, which is excellent news. We found 10 GR cataphracts, which is even better news. And 191 credits have been recovered. And we've got ask for help card. Okay, the GR cataphracts are good. Let's have a quick look at these things. I know some people, like one of my friends, when he plays, he has a house rule not to play, not to use these things in multiplayer, and I don't know about that. I think that I can kind of see why people might have a house rule not to use them. I guess if you get one early and your neighbour doesn't, but they're not that good. I mean, I think it depends. I think it would depend on really on how early you found it. Like, let's say this is turn 2, and I had a major neighbour, a human neighbour on my border. Then yeah, I could probably use this cataphract to kind of roll over what he's got, probably, along with other troops in support. I mean, they're not gonna. You can't use one of these to to attack a whole stack of even quite weak infantry. Here's why. Look, they've got 2001 hit points against hard targets, but against soft targets, it's only 800. And like that is high, right? You're going to struggle to get anything that can really break through that, but eventually. Sheer weight of numbers, you are going to break through this. So that I absolutely get it why you would have a house rule to get rid of these. We're not doing that though, and one of the things is we have now got this spread out history class, which means that you do start out further away from your neighbours, and I think that this is much less of an issue, I think, to deal with if you've got if you haven't got somebody actually sat on your border with them. But yeah, I think it's interesting food for thought. I think every gaming group is going to come up with their own with their own house rules, and I think that's very important for for the enjoyability of your game, because I think if some people find something drastically unfair, then it's not fun, is it? I absolutely get it. Okay, vidcom, we've just done that. Sorry, we've done that. Right, we're going to go straight to the decisions. Weimar Hansa demands resolution of relations. Do we want to be friends or do we want to be enemies? Do we want to increase mind or fist? I'd rather go into mind. And if I'm going to do that, I want to get some troops into his border first. So, and the reason being is because I really want to kind of push the boundaries back. I don't, even if it's going to be a farmer who we can get those guys on our side diplomatically. I don't really want to be, like, we're going to attack them here, look. Oh wow, they annihilated us. These are some strong farmers, man. Let's have a look at these. They've got improvised environmental suits. So these got enviro suits. Yeah, our troops don't have enviro suits. That's the thing. We're just running around naked, basically. So like I think our militia have got enviro suits actually. So what I'm going to do here is just I can't push it back there. I really want to get. Yeah, I can't do it now. They're a little bit close to my border, actually, and I don't know, but the thing is, I can't take these on until I've got better troops. Now, we have got the Model Design Council up, and the first thing we're going to do with the Model Design Council is we're going to make an infantry model. So I think what we'll do is we'll say yes here. Now, the thing is, this looks like a relatively easy map, but if we've got like this Jacob Schult Reich, if this turns out to be, I think this is probably just going to be farmers again, in all honesty. We've got Reichenau Reich here as well, which is also probably farmers or something. Here we've got non-aligned forces, and here we've got Pepoto territory. Now Pepoto territory is absolutely going to be mutants. Let's just do this movement first. I want to show you what I'm talking about. Once we come across mutants, they will steam up here, like crazy automatons. And there's nothing we can do about it apart from put troops in the way. Now they're not very strong; they're really, really weak. But they will cut off your supply lines. They'll encircle your troops. They're just pain in the butt. They're a pain in the butt. So mutants, I really don't want to have, you know, I don't really want, I need to have some force to be able to defend against them. You don't need, you know, militia will do it usually, but it's just getting, you know, troops there basically in time before they start overrunning all your stuff. So there can be a lot of them as well. So where am I going with this? Well, I don't want to be fighting a war on multiple fronts. Now, these farmers, once we've got our first model up, will be really easy to defeat. Also, this is very easy to defend. Like, if I just stick some troops in here, even with my weaker troops, they're never going to get in here. But I don't know. I think that it might be smart for me at the moment to try and go out this way and just have these guys on my back, and then I'll try. I don't think I've got another player down this way. And it's going to be, look, it's going to be quite hard for me to get down here. I am going to be able to do it. It looks like, I think they're there, okay? I think this is where I think this is going to be where their city is, here. So they're pretty close, and we might be able to take them quite fast. But I kind of want to get the goodies that are in here. And I can work on these guys diplomatically, so I think I'm going to do that. I think that's going to be my first thing. Let's be friends.
We'll go.
So our relationship went up. What we can do now is we could get it might actually be wise to go for the Foreign Affairs Council and then start to work on these guys to get them into my nation. That's another thing that a friend of mine was telling me that they don't really like doing in Shadow Empire on these kind of maps is diplomacy with minor factions, because apparently it's a bit too easy. I don't know if that's the case now. I don't know. That was a while ago that he told me that, and I do wonder if the game's changed a little bit since then. Okay, national decisions. I don't want to set... Right, here's a tip for people who aren't so familiar with Shadow Empire. On turn 2, after you've created your first council, you'll get the option to set the national budget. You don't want to do it until you've put your leader in, especially if you're... Well, particularly if you're going to be raising up the funding for the new council, okay? So, first, let's get this guy in here. We're going to put Blake Tomfield in. This guy got technical rating of 48, intelligence 36. He's capability 4, very good leader. He's going to be he's going to learn incredibly quickly in here, and he's got skills elsewhere. We could eventually transfer him out if we needed to. But model design is one of those things that you kind of want a good person in. So let's get him in there. I think that's what I was going to do. I forget now if there was another leader who I could have taken out the 1st Machine Gun Infantry Brigade. I seem to remember. Yeah, look, he's high. He's got a way higher intelligence, way higher rating. However, he's an inventor, and I think I'd really like to get him on. Look, because this guy, he started the career as a mechanic. He's actually, it looks like he's been, you know, he was raised through the ranks essentially to become a general, and well, he's going to be a brigadier general, isn't he? But yeah, anyway, he's like a brigadier general, but he's really not. He's got a good war rating. He's got a good high command rating as well. I mean, this guy's like, you know, he's a powerful guy, right? We don't want to annoy him. He's the sort of guy who could make a militia, a rebel faction, and really be a thorn in our side. So, anyway, without going into the role playing side of things too much, let's put Blake Tomfield in there. So that's going to make him happier. We're going to make him even happier because we're going to raise the model design priority. We're going to put it up to. Sorry, we're going to do that on the national budget. I think I'm going to put it up to about 45. I think I want command points. So I usually put this up to like 60, but I'm not going to this time. I think with a leader that good, I don't need to. So I think I'm going to might leave it at 40 even. Okay, that didn't actually increase his rating, but it lowered the Supreme Command Council person. But this guy, I don't care about him. He's bad. Look, his interpersonal rating's not bad, but he's not great. He's going to have to be replaced eventually. We have been visited by a former military commander of Jacobsholt Reich. This commander is willing to join our union in return for our assistance. This guy could be good, right? Because we might be able to find someone who can replace him. The Hex, he wants to liberate his home village on Hex 154. I forget now if there's a 100. 100 is, oops, sorry. 100 is down here. What was it, 54? I can't remember if there's an actual search function for hexens in this game. 100's way out, look. It's like up here. No, it's down here. 154. It's there, look. I don't ever do these. Like, I'll tell you why, right? I don't think they're worth it. generally speaking, because they're trying to take you in a certain direction. Now, it's a village, right? That's all it is. You liberate his home village. He's going to give us time. We're going to have to do this in a certain time limit. Being able to get troops down there to be able to do that when I really want to be going up here. I don't know. Do we make him this promise and gain his service? Let's try it. We'll see how long. I don't know how long it's going to take for us to do that, but let's have a look. Militia parade. On a beautiful day up, militia parade through the streets. Okay, yeah, we want to do this. Now, I'm not going to put 600 in. That's too much. But giving this guy a 9-point boost is worth the 200 credits, actually, I think. Especially when we don't seem to be struggling for money at the moment. I'm going to put design model priority higher than discover. Although, hang on a minute, let me think about... I don't know if this will report yet, but... So we've got 18 bureaucratic points going in to discover every turn. Yeah, and we're not researching anything here in design. How essential is it we get the infantry out? I think it's pretty essential. I think I'd rather have that really fast. So let's get, I don't know, let's put it up to 66. Yes, sir. And we're going to make a new infantry model. So we're going to build upon grunts, because these guys are good, right? Just remind ourselves of what this model was like. I remember it being a really good design, yeah. So it's got a fairly high structural design role, this is just going to get better and better and better as the game goes on. The weapon design is pretty poor, but the armor's really good. So once these guys get some armor on them, their hit points are going to go up really high. These are going to be formidable. And if we want to get into an early war, these are our men. So let's do that. Let's go to build upon grunts, give them a carbine and give them an envirosuit. So they're not running around just with, these thermosuits on. The thermosuit is useful, obviously, because this is very hot. I mean, it's 39 degrees and it's going to get hotter. This is winter. It's probably going to get hotter, if I remember right. Crawler Industries was a degraded auto factory. We really want this. This is like super, super, super critical for us to our strategy. So I'm going to go and stick a militia unit on there. And let's start moving in. Let's go and take all of these as soon as possible. Now, making these guys my friends is going to mean that we're going to be able to expand out in this direction, and I'm pretty sure this is where my human opponents are. I'm pretty sure they're that way. So with that in mind, I'm going to bring... I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I might bring them down here just in case we do get attacked by these mutants. They are the mutants rolling in on us is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. They will do it. Absolutely 100% without question. They will come. So maybe we can get all this here with just this militia, these militia units. I'm just having a look at my... Yeah, they're still within supply, look. Kind of interesting. Yeah, getting plenty of supply. So I reckon we can probably take all of these. I do want to send some other troops up that way. Let's start moving. Okay, so we've got this river. So let's move down this river. By the way, this is something I noticed, by the way, and this is an aesthetic thing. Look how awesome it is. Like the game generated this mountain range here with the volcano, and then this series of lakes. Look, and then the lakes are linked by a river. And these lakes, I mean, these are not lakes. These are like huge reservoir, huge kind of like inland lakes, almost like like what's that enormous lake kind of near Michigan in the United States? It's almost like a sea, really. But anyway, like it's these huge lakes, and then it's all joined by this river, and it kind of flows down into these marshlands. Look, marsh grassy lands. I love this game so much. It's really cool. I love it. It's just little things like that this game just does so well. It's funny. Yeah, I'll talk about this now. Okay, so right, I was talking today to a developer, to the developer of a mod for XCOM called X Pirates, which I've talked about on the channel before. At least I've talked about it on my Battle Mode channel. And he was talking about Shadow Empire, and he rates it as one of the best strategy games that's been released in a long time. He said this is like one of the best games that I've played in ages, and he said it's because the game design is really bold, and it's got. And we were talking about how he was saying like one of the things that he thinks makes this game really good is that the art assets are actually really good. we're not talking about the stratagem cards necessarily. I don't mind these. I know some people hate them. Are they, and I know Vic's kind of aware that they're a little bit, kind of uncanny valley, but I don't, they don't bother me really. But these graphics, right, these art assets, like for all the different buildings, and Dioxine was commenting on this. He was just like, there's so much work gone into this, and it's really, really immersion building. Like the fact that the private economy builds all these little like things like farming communities, stuff like brothels and weird stuff that, like there's loads of them. I tell you what, man, this must have, I don't know if Vic made these. I don't think he did. I don't know. I'd have to ask him, but I don't know. Whoever did the art assets for this game, look at the work that's gone into them. They're really, really nice, and it's all immersion building. It's like it really helps bring the player into the world that has been created, and I just think it's magnificent, really. I don't think people always really. They don't really always really recognize that about Shadow Empire. It's kind of like, oh, Shadow Empire is great, but it's got bad graphics. It's like, no, man, this game has not got bad graphics. You go and play any war game, right? Pretty much any war game on the market, and you find a war game that's got hex tiles that's not only as clear to read, but as nice as these. I mean, look, I know instantly these are low mountains. These are high mountains. You can tell, like. So these are high mountains, grassy. Oh, right, okay. So I've just kind of proved myself wrong a little bit there. They're not always that intuitive, but they're, for the most part, right, these are really, really good, okay? Like, let's find some low mountains. Like, these ones are low mountains here. Oh, no, they're still high mountains. Okay. Here, these are the low mountains. Okay, so you can tell the low mountains because they've got less relief in the they've got less contrast in between the shadows as the high mountains are. So you like everything in this game is just really, it's built for the gamer, and not only that, but it's built in an aesthetic way. Look at how beautiful the hex tiles on these maps are. This reminds me, I was actually playing an old Games Workshop board war game called Battle for Armageddon the other day. I was playing it on Tabletop Simulator, but it's a game that I've actually got a copy of because I bought it way back in '92 when I was, because I'm an old man, and that's also got a beautifully painted map, and it kind of reminds me of this. This looks like this is not a million miles away from some of those, hex and tile painted war game maps. It's really, really lovely looking. And it annoys me when people say that Shadow Empire's got bad graphics. Like, look, every single one of these units has got a different gun asset. So when you design a new model, all the armor, all the guns are all different. Like, how many developers do you know that put that much effort into their art? Like, they really don't. So yeah, to all those people who are saying that Shadow Empire looks ugly, fuck you. It doesn't look ugly. This is a really, like, I mean, go and play a John Tiller game and tell me that this doesn't have good graphics. Anyway, so I'm gonna start with kind of like fawn ranting. Just get on with playing the game, Ben. Okay, where are we? High Peak. Okay, so we've done all the decisions now. That's that done. So yeah, we've got our model design council up. We are good to go. We've started to get all of these assets. We're going to get a whole bunch of stuff next turn, I reckon. Hopefully we don't get, we don't have any non-aligned forces coming in and cut our troops off. If they do, they do. It's not the end of the world. I think it would be good as soon as possible. Now we've got this auto factory. Just have a look. We've got Crawler Industries. Now we've got this up. It's actually giving us some extra industrial points. We need metals next. This is dead critical. I think what I'm going to do is, by the way, again, just on a bit of a tangent. This is something I didn't notice. Let's look at the scavenging community. This provides 15 fuel to me. This provides 40 metal, 25 private metal, 25 private oil, and 10 credits. Now you'll notice that it does not produce any rare metals. However, and it actually produced 45, and that would be because of a governor bonus, I expect. If you just look on this, yeah, governor modifies fuel production result with 13%. So it actually produced 17 fuel. Now, we're actually getting an extra 5 metal a turn. That's significant, by the way, at the start of the game. And I didn't realise this, but nationalising this is giving you rare metals, essentially. Because if we go to construct, and we'll have a look at the scavenging recycling facility, that only gives us 30 fuel, 40 metals, and 10 rare. And now we're having to pay people. Like, I didn't notice this, right? And this, I don't know, forgive me if my viewers have been trying to tell me this before, but I've always gone for this first because it just seemed like a no-brainer, especially when you've got no money, because you can sell the rare metals off, and the rare metals are actually worth money, right? I'm not so sure now, because you're actually getting, you know, you're getting a decent amount of metal from this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually thinking that it might, maybe this is not so much of a no-brainer move as I always thought it is. Simply because, I mean, look, with a decent governor in, I'm getting 45 metal from it already. I'm basically spending 500 credits to get 10 rare metals per turn. Now that does pay for itself again, eventually, I guess. I think for the time being, I'm probably better off building an asset outside. That being said, I do need to start getting some of these up. So, by the way, I didn't tell you this last turn, but I did put a bureaucratic asset up. So I've got the bureaucratic office up. I want to get that first. This is a new strategy that I'm trying. I don't normally do that, and you do get a bonus. You do get bonus points to your bureaucracy for having a smaller bureaucracy. Like for example, here you'll see. That was this turn. Sorry, I forget where you want to look at this. I don't know if it's going to be in. Ooh, now we're testing my Shadow Empire knowledge. Where would we look to see what bureaucratic points we got this turn? I wonder. The bonus points. I guess we could look into the organisation. So this is telling you what you're going to get next level for bureaucratic points. Well, I guess we could do the maths here. So 38 plus 18, what's that? 56. So we got 56 this turn. Next turn we're going to get 67, which is going to buy 11. Yeah, okay, so we can work it out from this look. So it went up 11 this turn, so for next turn, sorry. So yeah, 56. Okay, so look here, we actually produced 27 bureaucratic points, and for a small bureaucracy size, you receive a 40-point bonus. Okay, so the bureaucratic office isn't necessarily a no-brainer earlier on. However, those extra bureaucratic points do go a long way, I think, in the early game. And it will allow us to get up our second council pretty quick. I mean, we could even do it now, to be honest. That would be something we could do. Now, next turn, we are going to get another character. So what I might do is, while we're not at war, let's get Diesel Baker. I'm going to call him. I'm going to relieve you, and I'm going to give you a better job, sir. Okay, and he's going to be going, okay, I want a better job then. Now what we need to do is we call the secretary, go for a new organisation, and let's get the Military Research Council up. I think it's going to be this one. I think I want that before the Economic Council, actually. Because the quicker I can start getting better models up, you know, I can defend myself a little bit better. I think that's the... Again, to use a Dominion's term, I think that's the non-greedy way to play. What do I mean by greedy? So, I don't know if this is a multiplayer game thing or a good Dominion's thing, but basically, if you're playing greedy, what that means is you're kind of like neglecting your defense in order to maximize something like your economy, you know? So, you're kind of like leaving things so that you're not so well defended, but you're pumping all your, you know, all your resources into, you know, into multiplying your infrastructure so that you will continually gain more and more infrastructure and more resources and that kind of thing. That's what I mean by greedy. And I think that playing greedy in a multiplayer game, like at least like a game like this, is probably not the best idea. For a start, I don't want to be out of the game early. So if I get hit by slavers, let's say one of these turns out to be slavers or like a hostile nation, like, I mean, Pepito are going to be mutants, I'm pretty sure. But for example, let's say that we, you know, Rishino Reich here, they turn out to be, you know, something that I can't deal with. I'm going to be out of the game, right? And, you know, it's going to be hard for me to get troops up, for example, right now. I wonder if I can actually get... yeah, I think I probably want to get the scavenging thing up, by the way. It's going to take a while to come up the recycling facility. Let's go for that, and we'll buy a couple of... We need some machines. I'm going to buy one, and I'll tell you why. If I buy one now... we might get lucky and find some in amongst these ruins, and I think there's a very high chance that we're going to find some machines in here. Okay guys, wow, that was a really long video for just what was essentially a quite short multiplayer turn, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think about things in the comments. As always, I really like to hear how people are finding my videos, because I do it because, you know, I do these because I like to play games, and I think it's good to produce, you know, for other people to sort of share it. But I I've got to admit, I do get a bit of a buzz when I see people are enjoying my videos. It makes it worthwhile, and you know, I like it that people find whatever that I'm doing is, you know, interesting and fun. So yeah, let me know. It keeps me playing, and it you know, I don't monetize this stuff. It's not about making money or anything. It's literally just because, you know, I like to see that people are getting something from it, and it's not just an old video game addict who's kind of justifying his gaming habit. You know, like, so if other people are enjoying it too, it really makes my day, honestly. So let me know what you think in the comments. I really want to see it. Thanks guys, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.